Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Sack here. In this video, I want to talk about Childhood's End, the recent SyFy TV station special, three-part miniseries based on the 1953 novel written by Arthur C. Clarke, the author of Space Odyssey 2001, which was made into a movie in 1968 by Stanley Kubrick. It's rumored that he also tried to make a film of Childhood's End, but it proved too daunting. My purpose in doing this video is to expose further the secret language of gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words, and how this language is practiced by the Freemasons. And by learning this language, you can see through so much wrongdoing in this world, from fake news to rigged sports to deceitful spirituality, which is what I contend the major spiritualities of the world are. Purposeful deceptions put on the people by the Freemason leadership for the purpose of divide and conquer. If you're not aware of the Freemasons, they believe in ruling by dividing. They pride themselves on being the keepers of knowledge. They pride themselves on being the invisible architects of society. And by learning their secret practices, again, you can see through their wrongdoing. So with that said, let's get into Childhood's End and how it connects to the Bible, Christianity, and more. The story Childhood's End has major Christian theming. So if you're not familiar with the story, if you haven't seen the show, it's about aliens coming to Earth and the aliens cluing in humanity to the truth of their existence. And in the story, they show up at what you could call the end times. And when they arrive, they solve many of the problems for humanity that they're dealing with, from disease and illness to violence and more. They also let humanity know that their time is about to end, and before it ends, they must extract the children. They do all this over many years. To appreciate it, you have to know the story, watch the miniseries. Anyhow, the person who comes and informs humanity, he's the person you see on the screen. He looks a lot like the devil, as we're taught in modern times. His name is Karelin, and as you can see on the screen, Karelin has a gematria of 33, a very spiritual number. In Christianity, the Bible begins with Genesis, which has a gematria of 33. A number that's coded over and over in the Bible. Jesus is crucified at age 33 after performing 33 miracles. In Islam, the number of 33 is of great focus. The word Muslim itself has gematria of 33. In Buddhism, 33 is central, as it is in Hinduism. All of the major spiritualities are centered around the same numbers, and this is something I've shown in other video posts and all throughout my blog. So Karelin, this leader of this alien race having a name gematria of 33, comes as no surprise. 33 is also a number of Freemason obsession. In numerology, 33 is the master teacher number. The word teacher itself has a gematria of 33, as does Jehovah, as do so many spiritual words. When you write out 33 as a word, it sums to 66. This film is called, or this story, Childhood's End, which has a gematria of 66 as well. And in the Christian Bible, the book about the end times is Revelation, the 66th book. Karelin is said to be the leader of the Overlords, which has gematria of 47, a number of Freemason obsession. Christian equals 47, authority equals 47, obey equals 47, judge equals 47, gavel equals 47. So many positions of authority equal 47, even words such as president and Caesar. Notice authority in simple English gematria also sums to 137, which is the 33rd prime number. As I've been explaining, the Freemasons often code 33, 47, 74 together. We're going to talk about 74 in just a little bit. So the novel was written in 53, And this story has everything to do with religion. The word religion itself has a gematria of 53. Corellin, his colors are red and black, reminding many people of the Catholic Church. Catholic has gematria of 35. In this nation's history, there's been one Catholic president, JFK, who was the 35th president. No coincidence. Our entire nation is a Freemason creation that has always operated by the numbers. Arthur C. Clarke in gematria equals 58, just like Freemasonry. No surprise there. In the film, when Corellin reveals himself to Earth's population the first time they see him, he does it with children at his side, his demands. The people of the world are shocked because he looks just like the devil. Another point I want to make about 47 Truth Seeker is that in 1968, Space Odyssey 2001 came out. This 3-part miniseries came out 47 years later in 2015. And with regards to Space Odyssey 2001 coming out in 68, that was a big year. 911 was made the national emergency dialing code in 68. World Trade Center construction began. George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones, a Masonic order. George W. Bush has a life lesson number of 33. He became president 33 years after graduating in 2001, the same year 9/11, September 11th tragedy occurred. 33 years later. All of this stuff is planned out. The release of these novels, the release of these movies, our history, it's all part of an ongoing plan by the numbers, cluing us in little by little. The way the show starts is with the end of the film. It's one of those stories that begins with the end and then gives you the beginning and leads up to that point. It begins with this man, Milo Rodrigues, explaining that he's the last man on Earth. In the beginning of the show, he's a young boy in a wheelchair, and he gets murdered in front of his mother in a drug deal. And at the time that this happens, the overlords have already revealed themselves to Earth. And the moment he's shot, the overlords send a beam down that not only saves his life and recovers him from the bullet injury, it also restores health to his legs and he can walk for the first time. You watch the show, you get to see how he grows up and becomes the last man to live on Earth. But anyway, his name Milo has gematria of 22 the small way. There's 22 chapters in Revelation. Again, Revelation, the 66th book of the Bible. Milo in simple English gematria also sums to 49, like Revelation in Pythagorean gematria. Revelation, the 66th book about the end times. It shows how on Earth, at the end of the world, there's technology roaming around, surveying the Earth for the overlords. All that's left on Earth is technology observing what's going on here. Space Odyssey 2001 is about technology overtaking man. And you think about what happened on September 11th, a day where we were all deceived by the television and the special effects. You start to think about how technology has overtaken us. The only planes on September 11th were the CGI planes on the television screen. What brought down those buildings were bombs. There wasn't a single plane involved. Plane was a distraction, part of their security agenda at the airports. Now look at us, walking through X-rays. All part of how they're building the police state and conditioning us to it. So anyhow, as the film moves on, it goes to this made-up name, Wainwright Global Media in New York City. Check this out. Right away, inside this building, it shows this. Hugo Wainwright, 1939 to 2005, passing of a legend. And down here, it says Wainwright Global Media loses the Irish uncle as its founder dies suddenly, aged 66. Remember, Revelation, the 66th book of the Bible, based on the 39 books of the Old Testament. And this is in New York, which has gematria of 39. A lot of Revelation coding in New York from its establishment date to its name, to many of the monuments in the city. I have several posts on Revelation in New York. Please check them out. As for Wainwright Global Media, it has gematria of 105, like the words Masonry and Zionism, the ruling forces of the day. Again, Childhood's End equals 66, Revelation 66th book, a tribute to 39 and 66 right at the start of the movie. The name Hugo Wainwright has gematria of 84, like United States of America, like Savior. As I've explained since my earliest videos, the United States of America is built on the book of Revelation. The Masons and Zionists use it as their playbook. That phrase, passing of a legend, has gematria of 73, like the word sacrifice. In this world, the Masons really do sacrifice people by the numbers. As for the word legend, passing of a legend, legend has gematria of 47, like overlords, like Christian, like authority. They're just putting out their tributes there, the numbers of significance. It's also the globe, which has gematria of 74, like Jesus, like cross, like Messiah, like gospel, like Muhammad, like Joshua, like Masonic, like Lucifer. We'll talk more about that. The globe, the overlords, 74, 47. So with regards to Arthur C. Clarke, check out this article. The Hotel Chelsea in New York is where he supposedly wrote Space Odyssey 2001 in room 322. 322 is a Masonic number, represents Skull and Bones, the Masonic order that George W. Bush and many other elites are a part of. Again, Arthur C. Clarke equals 58, just like Freemasonry. With regards to 322, the reflection of that number, 223, is what Masonic equals in Jewish gematria. And again, Masonic is 74 in simple English gematria. The Chelsea Hotel has gematria of 74. What do you know? Room 322 at the Chelsea Hotel in New York. I know a lot of Christians don't want to know the truth because they're so invested in their lies, but they need to know the truth. The first ever published Bible was the Gutenberg Bible of 66 books, and the most popularly credited publishing date is March 22nd, 322 or 22/3. Gutenberg Bible in gematria equals 66. The book is 66 books in length. This is a very important number to the founding of this nation. And think about how this nation began out of a genocide that was justified by the Christians because the other people were seen as godless. Again, the Freemasons believe in conquering through dividing, and that is what religion has brought to this world since before this nation existed. All of these words was 74 gematria. Lucifer, Masonic, Jewish, cross, Messiah, Jesus. Joshua is the English translation of Jesus. Joshua equals 74. Yeshua, the Greek spelling, 74. Gospel, Muhammad, the central figure in the Quran. And most people will tell you that the original translation of the Bible and the original translation of the Quran read almost as replicas of each other. It's said that in the original Bible, it does not say Jesus is the Son of God. That's the Masonic edit. London, 74. Oregon, the 33rd state, the only state with a gematria of 74. Think about Jesus on the cross at age 33. Oregon, the 33rd state, the only with a gematria of 74. English and gematria also equals 74. This is my message. You know, for all of my adult life, I was 18 when 9/11 happened. I've been speaking out, speaking truth to power, trying to get people to wake up, organize, do something about this reality we live in, where the powers that be are constantly working against us, deceiving us, making us fight amongst each other. And all the time I've been speaking out, I've had countless Christians tell me, Zach, everything you're doing is in vain. The only hope for us in this world is to pray for Jesus and wait for his return. And I'm telling you, these Masons are laughing at us. They have us folding our hands, bowing down on our knees, and waiting while they rule over us. Religion is here to destroy us. Jesus is not coming. Jesus would have to be a sick asshole to stand by with what's going on in this world. Jesus must not care about all the black people being abused, mistreated, and destroyed on their continent. Jesus must not care about any of the people of this world who live under those realities.